Yeah, how y'all doing out there in YouTube land? This is Stiletto coming at you from the Wild Wild West. Wow, here we go. Today we got some Hogues, some of my favorite Hogues. Now I just want to let you know these aren't all of my Hogues because I have a whole lot of X5s. There's many different colors and stuff like that, but they're the same knife. So I decided just to pick two X5s and two EX01s. And these are Brian Ti and friends, Brian Ti fighters, Ti fighters. So we're going to talk about these. That's what we're going to talk about today. But anyway, here we go. Let's start off with the X5s. This is my Harley Davidson X5. This is the one that stays in my rotation drawer, so I can carry it if I want to. This is the Harley Davidson one, special edition Harley Davidson one. And I also have another pair of these, one with both blade styles that you're going to see here, that are both Harley Davidson ones. Harley Davidson ones came with this color G10 insert. The handles are made out of 6061 T6 aircraft grade aluminum. The blades are CPM 154. I believe all these are 154, different versions of 154. I think these are CM 154, and I think these are CM 154 too, but these are CPM. Got a spear point blade. They come with a polished edge. Hogue knives really does good work on their edges. Their factory edges. They're done by hand. Watched a video on it one time on the person that does it. This is a plunge lock. All these knives are plunge lock knives. These two sets are flipper plunge locks, and this one's a thumb stub plunge lock. The Hogues are made a little bit differently. These run on bearings, if I'm not mistaken. I think these are bearing knives. I think they were some of my first bearing knives. And they're all made in the United States. All these knives are made in the United States. The Hogues don't use bronze phosphor bearing bushings or bearings. The actual handle scale is the bushing. It's got like a built-in, the way that they cast the handles. They cast it with the bushing in it. I'm not sure if these are cast or machined. That's something I don't know for sure. And then they're not integral, but it's just two handle sides, and then they bolt together. There's no they call it I'm going blank on my words here, people. I'm sorry. No backspacer. There's no backspacer. Just two handle slabs. So they're very simple knives. If you take these apart, you only can take it apart on one side, even though it has like I guess it'd be a hex heads on both sides. You only can take it apart on one side. I believe it's this side, if I remember right. Let me see if I can tell. I think it's this side. So you don't want to strip this side out because it's pressed in and it's not meant to come out. This side is the side that turns. But these have a plunge lock. So when it's in the open position, you can push it in like that. Even if you push it on the button, it's not going to come undone. It's one really nice feature for a plunge lock. Plunge locks aren't the strongest types of locks, in my opinion, people. But I do like them, though, because they're fun to use. And most of your automatics work off of a plunge lock. And the Hogue plunge lock actually covers a lot of the blade tang. But plunge locks really aren't that much stronger than, let's say, a liner lock or a frame lock. It's sort of like in the same category as far as like lock strength. So if you get one of these, even if they're made really heavy duty looking like these are, because these feel like a heavy duty knife, don't think that they are. Always remember you got a plunge lock. But these are real simple knives, and I really like them. And even if this lock was to fail on me, it's not going to hurt me because this can't fold in on my hand. It's one reason why I always like the the X5s over the EX01s. I think the EX01s are very sexy looking. They're very good looking knife, but to me, they're just not as safe as like this one is. These were the first ones I got, and then I tried out one of these because somebody, I can't remember, it was one of you guys told me to try out the X5. And I did, and I looked at all the way that I saw how safe it was to use and all that, and I like the way it feels in my hand. It's an Elshowitz design, which like most Hogue knives are Elshowitz designs. But the grip on it and everything like that feels really good. Feels like a good self-defense tool. Let me just put it like that. And I think this is one of the safer plunge locks that you can get. So if I was going to choose a plunge lock knife for a self-defense knife, it'd be an X5 over any other plunge lock that I know of. Just because of all the features that it has, where you can lock it. So that's a little bit extra feature, makes the lock, I think, a little bit stronger or less likely to come undone. And plus the way that you can grip it, where you have a really nice grip. And see how that flipper protects my fingers? Even if it was to come undone, let me unlock it. And that's about as far as it can go. I'm pushing hard on this. So it's a really good knife. Now, these are the ones I carry the most out of all the plunge locks I have, plunge lock knives I have. There's some other plunge locks I like too. We'll get into that later on in a different video. But this is my favorite plunge lock folder. It's the X5, the Hogue X5. Now there's other ones that run on bearings that are a lot smoother and a lot faster in closing, opening and closing and stuff like that. But they're not safer than this one. And as you know, I like to carry knives I think are good self-defense tools. So this is one reason why I think I would recommend this one over any other style of plunge lock folder for a self-defense tool. This one has a different blade design. I don't know what kind of, it's sort of like a reverse Tonto type of blade. I don't know, I guess it can be called several things. But you got like a flat, and then you got this section right here where it comes up. And you got like a reverse Tonto look. But it has the exact same handle as this one. It's just a different blade option. It's an Elshowitz design. Meant to be a self-defense tool. The balance on these is nice too. Nice 50-50 balance at the finger groove. As y'all know, that's what I like. This is a very nice knife. Highly recommend these. I think these are excellent knives. And they're very simple. Like I said, they're very simple. You just got to know how to take them apart. Because like the first time I tried taking them apart, I tried to take apart this side too. And I found out I was just stripping this out. And then I found out you got to use this side. Nice deep carry pocket clips. Blade thickness on these are nice all the way to the tip. This one has the finer tip. This is Saber flat ground, and this is a multi, what do you call it? A multi-ground knife, like where you got this grind right here, and then you got another grind right here. But it's a Saber flat grind also, with a swedge at the top. This one has a swedge at the top also. Excellent knives. CPM, yep, CPM 154. Hogue X5, made in USA. Highly recommend these. I believe they all have 6061 aluminum handles. And if you want G10 or whatever, you can get ones with the G10 inserts, but still 6061 aluminum handle. Just got the little piece right there for a little bit extra grip. But you don't really need it though, because the way that this handle's made, it pretty much locks your hand into a good grip. Now, if you're going to be doing extended cutting chores, this may not be the best knife because it's not super duper comfortable like that. Like a, like my favorite knife with this handle. This is a good, comfortable handle that I can use for use all day long without any issues. Whereas this one has some sharp edges to it, or has edges to it where I think if you were using it for like a regular cutting tool for a long period of time, it might bother you. To me, I would use that for a self-defense tool. To me, it's not like a tool I would get for cutting down boxes and things like that. This is a self-defense tool to me. All these knives are self-defense tools. Next up, EX01, another Elschwitz design. And this was the first one I bought. First Hogue knife I bought. And this is the EX01. It doesn't have the labeling on it. This is the one I bought later, and it does have the labeling on it. But you can mount the pocket clip up here or down here. They come with a pocket clip mounted up here like this one is. This one's never been changed. And it's just a right side carry. I love the blade on this one. That's the reason why I bought this one, because I just like the way it looked. I like that harpoon, what do you call it, a harpoon blade, Tonto blade. That's awesome looking to me. I think this knife looks awesome, period. It's made just like this one with the two 6061 aluminum slabs or pieces that bolt together. There is no backspacer. On this one, you can see how far the plunge comes out. And just like the other one, you can lock it into place, so now you can't close it. Unlock it, and then you can close it. Action on this one's really nice too. It's a little bit nicer than the other ones. Probably because I carried it for a while. But if the lock gives out on this one, you're getting bit. That's why I stopped carrying it after I got this one. Or not this one, I got another one. It was a green one that I carried. The one that I carried the most was that one. But this is a nice knife though. But the safer knife is the X5 over the EX01, if you ask me. I think the EX01 is just sexy. It's just a beautiful knife. It's a knife that's fun to look at, fun to use. And this is the same thing. This is with there are G-Mascus handle scales instead of aluminum handle scales. So this one you can get with a different type of material for the handles. This is a newer model. This one has the marking on it. It says USA EX01 on it, whereas this one doesn't do that. It just says USA. The markings are a little bit different. Just because this is the older one. This is the original one. Let me see if I can show it to you. Right here it says USA EX01. And 154 cm. And Elschwitz. Now these two, I like the aluminum one better, to tell you the truth. See how the marking is a little bit different? Elschwitz. This one doesn't say what kind of blade steel it is. but I know it's a 154 cm. And I know it's the EX01, even though it doesn't say that either. The marking is a little bit different. Just different periods that they came out. I think this one is too cool for school though. I just like the way it looks. These are the only two EX01s I have. I have about 6 X5s, I think it is, about 6 of these. Maybe even more, might be even 8. I think it might be 8, or it might be 7, because I forgot. Because I have a matching one for this one that's in this blade type, and this one is a standalone. But I do have a set of these, so that's 3, 5, and then I have a set of green ones, that's 7, and a set of black ones. So I have 9 of them. I'm just letting you know. The reason why I let you know that, people, is not to brag or anything. So it's just that if you follow me, you know that the knives I really like always get lots of them. And I really like the X5. I'm putting that out there. I really like the X5. To me, it's the best plunge lock folder as far as safety for self-defense that I would pick over any other. I'd pick this over any other plunge lock that I have. Even the Brian Ti and Friends. This is a lot more expensive than these, but I like these better because I think they're safer to use, and I think they're just a better plunge lock. I think Elshowitz designs things for real self-defense use or real hard use or combat. Because if you go into Elshowitz knives, they're all combat knives, and I think this is like really thought out well for being a plunge lock as to what it was meant for. It's not meant to be a cutting tool. It's meant to be a self-defense tool. That's the whole purpose behind these. Sort of like a lot of the cold steel knives are really meant to be self-defense tools, and not everyday carry, everyday chore type knives. And that's what these are. These are combat blades, combat folders, fighting knives. And the Brian Ti and Friends fighters are really nice too. Brian Ti does a whole lot of really good machining and like handle stuff and fancy blades, and these are like the plain Jane models of the Brian Ti series, of the fighting knife series that he makes. CRKT, he gave CRKT permission to make his knives too, and using their less expensive materials and products and stuff like that, and manufacturing process. I have a complete collection of those, but these are the ones I like. Those are just like collecting things to me. They're not knives I really want to carry. These I carried. I think one of these got scratched up. Is it this one? Or... what got scratched up was a pocket clip for me rubbing against stuff. You can't really see it no more. I absolutely love the Brian Ti and Friends ones too. Now this one is fairly safe too, because if the lock comes undone, that's about as far as it can fold in on your hand. But it doesn't have a locking lock. I mean a plunge lock, and the plunger itself doesn't come out as far on the blade tang, and it's not as big as like the Hogue. I don't know if you guys can see that. Hope you can see that, what I'm trying to show you. The plunger that comes out on the blade tang, the Hogue is much more massive, and it comes out further. Plus it has a plunger lock. So that to me makes this one safer than this one. This one comes about as far as like a ProTech knife on the Brian Ti and Friends. The ProTech knives, their plunger doesn't come out that far either. And I think that would be more prone to failing than the Hogue knife. I think the Hogue knife is probably one of the stronger plunge lock knives. Out of all the plunge lock knives I have, and I do have a lot, you know, from all over the world. And I think this is the strongest. Looks like I've never tested it to see which one's stronger or whatever, but this one looks like it's really strong for a plunge lock. Like I say, plunge lock knives aren't super strong. I wouldn't go around spine whacking them and stuff like that, because you might end up just damaging a really nice knife. Because I imagine once you make it fail, it's gonna cause it to be able to fail even easier the next time. They're not triad folders. They're not deadbolt folders. Triads and deadbolts are like the strongest locks I think I've come across. And I like triads over deadbolts because deadbolts don't adjust with wear. And all in that, if you get like one of the ones with the assisted opening, they tend to come loose really quick. The pivots come loose really quick, so they require a lot of maintenance all the time. This feels really solid. Lockup on it is perfect. No side to side, no up and down or anything. Lockup's perfect. This one has 6061 aluminum handle scales, or handles, should I say. They're not scales. And this one has a backspacer, aluminum backspacer. So it's made more like a standard knife. The pocket clip has like a ball bearing in it. But the pocket clip, if you're using this for a long period of time, it sort of bites into your handle, your palm of your hand. So I'm not a big fan of the pocket clip. It's kind of neat the way it slides in and out of your pants, though. But when you actually get into holding it and using this knife, it sort of could put like little indentations in your hand. Like puts a little wear spot in your hand. I absolutely love these, though. I just think they're really cool. Brian Ti makes some really cool knives, but his knives are more like the show, like more like collectible knives to me, because they're like fancy and I don't know. They don't look like knives I would actually use and carry all the time. But he does make them fairly heavy duty, But how heavy duty is a plunge lock though? Because they'll have like big thick blade tangs and stuff like that, but still it's a plunge lock. It's not a heavy duty Loctite. Not in my opinion anyway. It's just a Loctite that's really common for automatics. And most automatic knives, people, they don't really have super strong locks. I'm being blunt about that. A lot of people really like the automatic knives and stuff like that, but when you get automatic knives, sure, it's fun to push the button and stuff like that, but I wouldn't really trust it, because I could picture the lock coming undone or giving out, because most of them are plunge locks. Plunge locks are good locks for knives that aren't really going to be used for self-defense, in my opinion. To me, the best lock for a self-defense knife is either a triad folding lock, triad lock, or a deadbolt, or even I'd even say a Atlas lock or a Shark lock over any of these other locks. Axis lock is good too if it's done right. Axis lock is a very strong lock too if it's done right. I really like the SOG XR locks. The ones with the flippers, I like those. I have a lot of faith in those, especially like on the SOG Seal, the one that's made in the United States. That one feels like it's a tank. It feels like it's super heavy duty and it can handle a lot of abuse. And the way it's made with the big flipper that comes around your hand, even if the lock was to give out, you're not going to get cut. So I think that'd be like my, out of all the Axis style locks, I think that would be the one I'd pick, the SOG Seal. the big heavy duty sog. But then again, that's a real heavy knife though too. So you'd have to sacrifice weight for that. One thing about with a triad lock, you can put a triad lock in a fairly lightweight knife and it still has a strong lockup that you can have faith in that won't fail on you. That's one thing I really like about. A lot of people don't really pay attention to that. That the knife doesn't have to be super heavy duty for a triad lock to be really strong. Like in a recon series or a Tau Wars series, or the holdouts and the Tau Wars that I did last week. Those knives are super light, for the size that they are. They're light for the size, in between 4 and 5 ounces, and they're way stronger than any of these knives. Just something to think about. They're way stronger than any axis lock knives. Something to think about. The only thing that could really compete with them is a deadbolt. And deadbolts have some maintenance issues that, if you don't like to constantly be pulling maintenance on your knife, that deadbolt may not be the knife for you. And triad lock self-adjust. Even Atlas locks, I've seen on Gideon's tackle where they can have some issues if you're using them for heavy duty things. Triad locks can do the things that he did on Gideon's tackle without any problems. Any other triad lock folders, the little lightweight ones, can do it. The shark lock, I don't know. I've never seen that one tested. I've never seen it put through a whole lot, but on Gideon's tackle, he compared the shark lock to the Atlas lock, and the shark lock didn't have any issues afterwards. Myself, I just, I'm not in denial. I know Andrew Dimko makes awesome locks. Compared to everybody else's locks, he's like the master, if you ask me. He's master class when it comes to making a production knife that can have a really strong lock. But I really love these knives though. And for me, not every knife has to be able to hold 600 or 700 pounds, 400, 500, 600, 700 pounds. If you could hold a couple 100 pounds or 200 or 300 pounds, that's good enough. And I would expect these to be like the 200 pound range. That's what I would expect, the Hogue Plunge-Locks to be in. Most liner locks that you see, they fail in between 50 pounds and maybe 125 pounds or so. I'm talking about foot pounds, not inch pounds. Real weight. And a real strong liner lock will hold like 150 pounds. A real strong frame lock will, hold like around 150 to 250 pounds. Axis locks, they get into the 300 pound range. The proper axis lock, 300 to 400 pound range, 250 to 400 pounds, they'll be in that range. Anything above that, then you're talking triads and deadbolts. We saw a deadbolt hold up to 598 pounds when it went up against with the SR1 Lite. That's the one with the 14 MO, it's a Chinese steel one, the low budget one that you can get for like $50. But it's hard to be a triad lock. I really think triad locks are the kings. Sure, we saw the Atlas lock 3.5 inch Engage hold 625 or 628 pounds or something like that. But that's all it was able to do. Then we saw it, doing some light batoning and it got damaged. So it may be able to hold some weight, but can't do other things too. Whereas, any triad lock can do batoning. You could take a Voyager and be able to baton through wood with it without damaging the knife. You know, things that you baton with, you know, wood that you would baton with, like you make kindling or something like that, you know, with a 4-inch blade or whatever. There's lots of videos of them doing that. That's what people are trying to destroy them in the beginning, and they found out how tough they were. But nothing's proven like a triad folder. I should get on. We're not talking about triads. We're not talking about cold steel. We're talking about these. I really love these knives, but I don't think of them as like heavy duty. I know people see these videos sometimes, and they go, oh, okay, well, it looks like a heavy duty knife. Let's go out and try it and stuff. And they say, wait a minute, no, it broke at 200 pounds, or got messed up when I did some batoning with it, whatever. But you know, that wasn't meant to be doing that. These are self-defense folders. You're not gonna have to baton through somebody when you're in a knife fight. All right, let's check out the thicknesses. 3.8 millimeters. 3.8 millimeters on the X5s. 3.79, same thing, 3.8 millimeters, X5s. EX01s. 3.77, around 3.8, same type of blade stock. 3.78, same thing. These are going to be thicker. 5 millimeters. 5 millimeters. But remember, like I said, though, just because this blade stock's thick and it looks like it's super heavy duty, it's really not. 5 millimeters. That's all I'm trying to point out to you guys, is that don't think that these are heavy duty, batoning through wood, can handle a whole lot of we call it spine wax or anything like that. These are Plunge-Locks. You know, you could put a 5 millimeter blade on a liner lock, but it doesn't really make it stronger. It just means it has a 5 millimeter blade and it's thicker and heavier. That's all it really means. And it's like, you know, sometimes I think people do things for show and for looks. And people who don't know any better, they buy it because they think it's super strong, and it's really not. 3 3/4 inch blades. 3 3/4 inch blades. 4-inch blade. 4-inch blade. 4-inch blade. 4-inch blade. Wait. .7 ounces for the EX01 with the aluminum handle scales. Handles. 5.4. So what's the difference? I was expecting G10 to be a lot lighter. 5.7 and 5.4. That's not that much of a difference. Oh, now it says 5.3. Still not that much difference. X5, 5.8 ounces. All aluminum. This was basically all aluminum just with a G10 insert, but pretty much the same thing. 5.6 ounces. What was this one again? 5.8. Okay, that's just the difference of the cutout for the G10. Brian Tie Fighter. 5.6 ounces. 5.4 ounces for the one with the clip blade. Now these have hollow ground. They're Saber hollow grounds. Did I mention that? These are Saber hollow grounds, not Saber flat grounds. If I said flat grounds, I made a mistake. Saber hollow grounds. Even the tip is not a Saber. It's not a Saber flat ground. It's a Saber hollow ground, even for the tip. These are hollow ground all the way through, with the swedge on top. Really a beautiful looking knife, though. I think that makes an awesome collector. And they are safe to use for self-defense because, like I said, even if the lock gives out, it's not going to fold in on your hand. So they are fairly safe. Same thing goes for these. I would pick these over these for a fighting knife. The Brian Ti Fighters, right? Brian Ti and Friends fighting knives. I pick these over the EX01s. EX01s I wouldn't want to pick for a fighting knife because I'd be worried about that lock gave out. It could fold in on my hand and cut me up. These are my #1 picks, though. All these are USA made. Very high quality fit and finish on them is awesome. The way that they function is awesome. The way that they're made is awesome. But these would be my first picks. If I was going to pick the knife that I would use for self-defense, if I wanted to get a Plunge-Lock knife, because I like Plunge-Locks, I would get one of these. Now, these require a break-in period because these aren't phosphor bronze bushings or Teflon bushings or bearings. And you got to, when you tune these up, you want to leave them with a little bit of side-to-side play. They won't have any up and down play, but they should have a little bit, just a touch of side-to-side play, because that little bit of side-to-side play allows you to open and close it easily. Just like old school switchblades. Old school switchblades, you don't want them to be rock solid tight. Side-to-side, you want to have a little bit of play in them. It allows them to function properly. But there's really nothing to wear out on these because you don't have bearings and you don't have bushings. So what's to wear out? That's one thing that's cool about them. And they're super simple. Once you figure out how to take them apart, they're really easy to take apart and put back together. One thing you want to do, though, remember you're always screwing into aluminum. You're not screwing into any kind of steel. So you don't want to torque down any of these screws when you put together. You want to put together real easily. Don't torque down on anything on these because they're aluminum. Because you will strip out a screw. If I'm not mistaken, I think these have bearings. I can't remember. It's been a long time since I've taken one apart. All right, people. That's my video on these. What video are we on now? Is this number 6? This video number 6? I can't remember. Can't remember. I think we're on video number 6 now. All right, people. Peace out. Stiletto. See you on the next one.